Hello guys, welcome back to Analytics with Kiran. So in this video, I'm having one of the HR dataset. So I'm going to process this dataset into our Microsoft Fabric Lakehouse. Okay. So basically, I'm going to import it into our Lakehouse. After then, I'm going to use one of the Dataflows N2, in which I'm going to create some of the calculated columns, and I'm going to clean this data. Okay. After then, once our data is ready, we are going to ingest it into our Lakehouse in the table section. After then, going to create the semantic model out of it. Okay, so in semantic model we are going to create some of the measures, and after then we are going to import the semantic model in our Power BI. So in Power BI we are going to create some of the beautiful dashboards related to HR data. Okay, so you can see the beautiful dashboard which I have created. So this kind of beautiful dashboard you can also create. So stay connected to this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Okay. So guys, let's back to screen. So let me open the Excel workbook. Okay. So basically today I'm going to discuss about the project which is related to HR data. Okay. So let me show you the data set. Okay. So let me walk you through each and every column. Okay. So basically we are having the employee related data, employee name, employee ID. Okay. And gender ID, basically the salary, termination. Okay. So okay, the position, state, zip code, date of birth, gender, and citizen details, whether it is US citizen or where the employee belongs, and martial status. Okay. Okay, so basically it is having the employment status also, department, manager name. Okay. And okay, so employment status, whether it is active employee or he has left or he has been terminated. Okay, so basically these kind of information we are having. Also recruitment source. Okay, performance score and engagement survey. Okay, employee satisfaction. Okay, so basically we are having this kind of data. So we are going to load this data into our lakehouse. After then we are going to create one semantic model, and after then we are going to import this semantic model in our Power BI report. Okay, in Power BI report we are going to create a beautiful dashboard with the help of this data set. Okay, so let me go and create this. Okay, let me open the edge and move this file into our Fabric account. Okay, so basically here let me create one new workspace. Let me give it as HR dashboard. Okay. Now let me create one Lakehouse. Let me name it as a HR dashboard. Okay, now let me create one more Dataflows Zen2. In this Dataflows Zen2, we are going to do some of the modifications, just like we are going to do some of the cleansing operation. Okay. Now let me go back to our Lakehouse. Okay, so from to the file section, we are going to upload this file. Okay, now let me quickly go to our Dataflows N2. Now let me get the data from our Lakehouse. Basically, in the file section, we are having our data. Okay, let me expand it. Okay, so you can see we got our all the columns here. Okay, now let me do some of the cleansing operation. Okay, so basically let me check the data type of each one. Okay, so data type is all okay. Okay, so now let me give the destination. Let me give the destination at our Lakehouse. Okay, let me choose our Lakehouse. Yeah, HR dashboard, and let me give the name as HR dataset. Okay, now let me put the next. Okay, settings are all okay. Let me save it. And now let me publish this. Okay, let's wait for until it publish. Okay, so as you can see, the data flow has been successfully published. Okay, so let me open the Lakehouse and show you the table. Okay, so this one is our table which we have just now loaded. Okay, so now let me quickly create the semantic model. Okay, let me click on new semantic model and let me name it as a HR dashboard. Okay, now we have to select the tables. Okay, I have selected my HR dashboard, HR dataset. Okay, and yeah, let me give the name HR dashboard. Okay, so here in this semantic model, we are going to create the measures and the calculations. Okay, and if we have to create some calculated columns, then we have to go to our data flows and do, and there we have to create the calculated column using Power Query editor. Okay, After then we have to publish that data flow, and it will replicate in our semantic model. Okay. Okay, so this one is created. Okay, so let me quickly open the Power BI report in which let us see what we are going to create. Okay, and the measures we will create one by one afterwards when we are creating some of the charts. Okay, at that time only we are going to create the measures. Okay, so let's go to our Power BI report. Let me open the Power BI. Okay, so now we have to import our semantic model. Let me click on get data and click on Power BI semantic models. Okay, let me give the email and login details. Okay. Okay, the same we have to import. Okay, so now you can see we have successfully imported our dataset. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to create some of the charts. Okay, so let's go one by one. Okay, now let me do some of the formatting of this canvas. Okay, let me go here and let me choose the background color. Okay, so I'm going to choose this one as a background color. As you can see, it is not showing anything because the transparency is 100%. Let me give it to, okay, 40% is okay. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to create some of the KPIs. Okay, so for that we have to go to our semantic model and we have to create some of the measures. Okay, so let me go here and let me create some of the measures. Okay, so basically first measure will be the head count. So I want the count of the employees. Okay, so the count of employees will come from the count of employee ID. Okay, let me create a new measure for it. Name it as a head count is equal to count of employee ID. Okay, so this will give the head count. Okay, so this one is created. So now let me move to the next measure, which will be the attrition. So attrition is basically how many persons have left the organization. So we are going to calculate with the help of one of the column, which is employee status. Okay, employment status. Okay, so let me show you the data set. Okay, this one is our column. So basically it is having active, voluntary, terminated for cause. Okay, so here what we are going to do, we are going to create some of the variable in which we are going to find out the active employees. So we will create one flag in which we will write some of the conditions, just like if the employee status is equal to active, then it should give 1 or it should give 0. Okay, after then we are going to create the calculate of count of employee ID, where filter will be the data set variable is equal to 0. Okay, so basically it will count, it will give the count of the voluntary terminated and terminated for cause. Okay, so like this we are going to create. Okay, now let me go to our semantic model. me create a new measure. It will be attrition is equal to variable a is equal to if the employment status okay. For this we have to create the calculated column because we have to because we are not having the measure for it. Okay, so let me go and create the calculated column for a flag. Okay, so let me go to our data flows and to okay, let me create one conditional column. If employment status equal to, we have to give the value. Okay, copy the value. Okay, let me create a conditional column equal to active, then output will be 1. Okay, else it will be 0. Attrition give as a whole number. Okay, let me publish it now. Once it is published, the new column will be appearing in our semantic model. Okay, okay, as you can see the data flow has been successfully published. Okay, now let me open our semantic model. Okay, let me see the attrition column. It is not replicating here. Okay, now let me go and check where is the gap. Okay, here it is appearing. Okay, so why it is not appearing here? Okay, let me refresh this semantic model. Okay, now you can see the attrition. Okay, now let me create the new measure, and the measure will be attrition. Okay, and it will be calculate count of employee ID After then filter, table name is dataset, HR dataset. So the filter expression will be attrition is equal to 0. Okay, so we are going to take, okay, let me choose the another name as 1. Okay, so basically we have chosen as a 0 because we need only the terminated candidates. Okay, now we are going to create one more measure. We are going to create attrition percentage. Okay, so let me create this attrition percentage is equal to attrition 1 divided by head count. Okay, and this will be in percentage. So let me choose it. Let me give the format as percentage. Okay, decimal place, let us keep it as a 2. Okay, now what we are going to create, we are going to create the average salary. Okay, so basically we are having the salary column in which we are going to take the average of that. Okay, salaries we are having, we are going to create average salary is equal to average salary. Okay, now we have to create one age column. Okay, so basically let me see. So we have to go to our Dataflows N2 to create the age column. Okay, so basically we are having the date of birth column. So with the help of date of birth, we are going to create the age. So basically we are going to use dative function in which we are going to compare it with today, and it will give the total number of years. Okay, okay, now in Dataflows N2 we are going to create the custom column, and our formula will be date dot year or date time dot local now. Okay, minus date of year, date of birth. Okay, so basically with the help of date of birth we are going to create this. Our data type will be whole number, and let me name it as a age. Okay, so we got our ages. Okay, now let me quickly give the mapping. Okay, now let me publish this one. Now our data flow has been published. Okay, now let me quickly go to our semantic model and let me refresh it. Check. Okay, we got our age column. Now let me create the average of age. Okay, so we have created these many KPIs. Okay, now let me go to our Power BI and we have to create one by one the card visuals. Okay, so for this one we are going to create the head count. Okay, here we have to refresh it. Okay, where is the head count? Take another one. Attrition. Attrition percentage. It is giving 100%. Let me check the attrition what I have given. Okay, so basically we have chosen the column name, wrong column name. So it should be employment status. Okay. Now let me check. Okay, now it is giving 1 and 0. Okay, now let me publish this one. Go to our semantic model and refresh it. Okay, now let me refresh it here. Okay, now it is giving correct. Okay. Okay, now we have to go and create the average salary. Okay, let me take one more and average salary and let me create the average age. Okay, so these KPIs are created. So formatting we will do in the last. Okay, let me quickly create one by one all the charts. Okay. Okay, so now let me create one clustered bar chart. Okay, so in this card we are going to show the headcount by department. Okay, so basically onto the y-axis we are going to put the department and onto x-axis we are going to put the headcount. Okay, now let me turn on the data labels for this. Okay, now let me create one of the donut chart. Okay, so in this donut chart what we are going to create, we are going to create the head count by age bracket. So basically we are having the age column So we have to create one more column in which we have to give the age bracket, just like if the age is greater than or equal to 18 and the age is less than or equal to 25, then it should be 18 to 25 under the bracket. So like this, we have to create the age brackets for 18 to 25, 26 to 35, 36 to 45, and 46 to 55. After then, we have to above 55, we have to give the 55 plus age. Okay. So let me quickly go to our data flows N2 and let me create a new age bracket column. Okay. Creating the age bracket, we have in Power Query Editor, we have created the custom column in which I have written this code. Okay. So if the age is greater than or equal to 18 and the age is less than or equal to 25, then 18 to 25, and if 20 is less than or equal to 26 and greater than or equal to 26 or and less than or equal to 35, then 26 to 35, like this we have created from if the age is greater than 56 then 55 plus. Okay, so like this I have created this column. You can also create like this only. Okay, so let me give it as a age bracket. Okay, let me give it as a text, as condition also. Okay, so now let me click on OK. Okay, so we got our age bracket column. Okay, so now we are going to use this column into our donut chart. Okay, let us wait until it succeed. Okay, now Dataflow has successfully published. Let me go to our semantic model. Okay, and let me refresh it. Okay, now let me go to our Power BI and let me refresh it. Okay, in legend we have to put the age bracket and into our values we have to put the head count. Okay, okay, so now these two visuals are created. Okay, so now we have to show the head count by Marshall status. Okay, so let me take one of the stacked bar chart. Okay, let me take this one. Okay, and here we are going to show onto the x-axis Marshall status. Okay, and in the y-axis we are going to show the head count. Okay, now in the legend we are going to show the gender also. So the bars will be broken down with the gender information. Okay, so now it is looking fine. Okay, now we are going to create one of the line chart in which we have to show the head count by date of hire. Okay, so into the x-axis we are going to take the date of hire, and onto the y-axis we are going to take the head count. Okay, you can see. Now we also need to create one of the cumulative head count. Okay, we have to show in the same chart, we have to show the cumulative head count also. Okay, so for it we have to create one of the measure. Okay, let me create a new measure for a cumulative head count. Is equal to last date. Okay, let me take as a variable. Variable a is equal to last date of hire, and in return we are going to take the calculate. Okay, head count all and date of hire. The filter 2 will be date of hire is less than variable a. Okay, so first we are taking the last date of hire. After then we are calculating the head count and restricting all the filters from to the date of hire, and where the date of hire is less than the last date. Okay, so this will give the head count. Let me refresh here. Cumulative head count. Okay, now you can see it is giving the head count as well as the cumulative head count. Okay, okay, so now let me create one more chart. Let me put it at the last. Okay, now let me create one more line chart, and in this line chart we are going to create the same as like this chart, but we have to create the attrition by date of hire. Okay, in the x-axis we are going to take the date of hire, and onto the y-axis we are going to take the attrition. Okay, so as you can see, okay, in 2011 the attrition rate is high, and 2011, yeah, after then it is minimal. Okay, like this you have to create. Now let me create one of the stacked column chart. Okay, so here what we are going to do, here we are going to show the head count by source. So head count, let me take onto the y-axis. Okay, and x-axis we have to take the, so basically onto the y-axis we have to take the head count, and onto the x-axis we have to take the recruitment source. Okay, so head count by recruitment source. Okay, so basically all the KPIs and the charts are created. Now let me add the slicers one by one. Let me shift these down. Okay, now let me add the slicers one by one. So basically we need only 5 slices depending upon the department, position, employment status, gender and state. So let me create one by one for department. Okay, let me go to format and select the drop down. Okay, now let me copy and paste these. Okay, for this let me take the position. For this let me take the employment status. For this let me take the gender. For this let me take the state. Okay, so basically all the slicers and the KPIs are created. Okay, so now let me work on to the formatting part. Okay, first of all let me give some of the formatting for to the slicers. Okay, so basically here you can see select all is not there, so let me enable the select all. Okay, also we have to enable the search option. So okay, here you have to click on to the search and it will give now the search option also. Let me take it. And now one more thing, the height will be, let me, height will be 68. Okay, okay, now let me go and format enter use for all. Let me select all and put the height as 68. Okay, and now let me select this one also. Okay, now let me select one by one the card visual. Okay, so for it, call out value, let me give it as, okay, give it as 11, semi bold. Okay, now let me go to the properties and give it as 86 and 215. Okay, let me turn off the visual border and the shadow also, and rounded corners I will take it as 20. Okay, 20, give it as 10. Okay, now let me select this one, format printer. Okay, so here we have to give the height and width the same, 86 to 15. Okay, let me select these one, 86 to 15. Okay, distribute horizontally. Okay, okay, let me go and change the charts. Okay, so for to the y-axis, I don't want the title, and for to the x-axis also, I don't want the title. Okay, okay, for to the title should be semi-bold and it will be 11. Okay, at the center. Let me turn on the visual border and shadow, and we have to take it the rounded corners as 10. Okay, now let me select it and use the format painter for all. Okay, okay, for this also we don't want the grids, vertical also as well as the horizontal also. Okay, okay, now let me go to the view and let me do some other customization to our theme. Okay, so let me choose some different colors. So I am having the code I will provide you. So copy from this. Okay, 996 CD6. Okay, and for color 2 I am going to use 5E CBC8. Okay, and for color 3 I am going to use 81B3FE. Okay, so the same colors I'm going to apply here. Now you can see it is looking perfect. Okay, so here let me give some height. Okay, let me take it like this only. Triple 1 to 15. Okay, let me select this one. Okay, and let me go to format and align top. So basically you can see the topmost is this card. So all the card visual will be aligned according to this only. So all the card visuals will be aligned according to this only. Okay, so let me click on this. Okay, now you can see. Okay, so now one thing more I have to do. Okay, so here I have to mention the HR dashboard. Okay, so let me select one of the shape. Send it backward. Okay, now for 2 days you have to disable the background. Okay, okay, now let me take the color as white. But also let me take it as a white. Okay, now these are okay. Now let me add one of the text. Okay, now let me take one of the text box. Okay, chart dashboard. font size, let me select. Okay, Arial. Okay, choose the color as white. Okay, now it is looking perfect. Change the font. Okay, now you can see it is looking fine. Okay, it's showing the department and the state. Let me remove one. Okay, let me rename one by one. So it is showing headcount by department is correct, headcount by age bracket it is correct, headcount by Marshall. Let me rename the title. Status, gender. Okay, headcount by reinforcement source. Okay, attrition by data file. Attrition by year. Okay. Cumulative headcount and headcount by data file. Okay, it should be by year. Okay, now you can see we have successfully created this beautiful dashboard. Okay, let me select anyone. Okay, now it is working fine. So thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment and subscribe. Okay, thank you.